Hello there, Riddle Rock Stars, 5th graders. Welcome to video 5. Good to see you guys again. In the last couple videos, we've talked about the elements of art. We've talked about abstract, non-objective art. For example, the lines, shapes, lines, gradations. In this one here in particular, we have some curved lines, graceful lines of beauty. We have vertical lines, we have lines of strength, we have horizontal lines in this drawing, lines of rest. We've got some gradation. I have all blues in this, so that makes it a monochromatic, one color. So we have different tints, shades of one color. We've talked about the abstract art, the non-objective, of course, Vasily Kandinsky. Isn't that cool? We have some shapes and lines, and he was making his paintings to resemble music. So the idea is you can look at it and you can see the music as if it would, you can hear it. So it's like imitating sounds. We also have the Vasily Kandinsky, his concentric circles. So this was just an experiment of just placing colors and trying to separate colors and see what colors look like when they're near each other. Piet Mondrian, this is fields of color, so the idea is look at this. What color do you see first? Some of you might say red, and red is the largest color in here, so maybe the red really pops out. Yellow should be the first color that jumps out, but because the red is larger in the fields, your eyes might go to the red first. So that's the sort of thing he was working with. He was like studying what the human eye would look at first. So changing the size, changing what's around it, things like that. That's what he was interested in. We got some cool colors here. I'm just going through some of my art cards. Pablo Picasso. We did a little drawing here of Pablo Picasso. And then we were talking about realism. I talked about Chuck Close, who's an artist that made realistic faces, giant size faces. He was extremely talented, and he made every detail, every hair, every wrinkle in the skin, every divot in the skin with down to perfection. He was just absolutely amazing. So then we talked about complementary colors. So complementary colors are the opposite colors. A lot of sports teams use opposite colors. For example, the U of I, the colors are orange and blue. And what the opposite colors do is they will make things seem to be brighter. So like if I'm doing something with lettering, I always consider using, let's say if I want the letters to be orange, you can put blue around them, and that orange and blue being opposite will make that color orange seem brighter, and it can make it frame it so it's easier to read. Another pair of complementary colors, red and green, Christmas colors. The Effingham Flaming Hearts, they are red and green. The LA Lakers are purple and yellow. They are another set of complementary colors. So last week we drew an apple. I've got an apple right up here. And on an apple, to get that shading, we can take the opposite color of red. The opposite color of red is green. So after I colored red, I took the green and I went over top, and that gives me the shadows, the shading where the light is not quite hitting the apple in full force. Now, you can also see my orange. The orange is colored in. And then the shading on this orange, opposite of orange is blue. So a little bit of blue crayon over top, and I can get that shading. I press hard and I get light and try to help pull that, to help make it look more 3D. So fruit is very common for artists to experiment with painting and drawing because it has nice bright colors, and it's called a still life. A still life is when an artist wants to draw something and it's just something that will sit still, and the artist can go eat lunch, come back, and it's not going to move. It's going to be right there. The only thing that can happen is, of course, with fruit is it's going to go bad. But usually an artist is going to be finished by the time that the fruit starts going bad. And what's a good thing about fruit? When you're finished, you can eat it, you know? So you can buy it, They can draw it, and then when they're finished, they have a snack. So that's a good thing. So that makes me think of what else could we draw, and what do we like? So then I was thinking, went to Walmart the other day, that Halloween's coming around the corner. And I saw lots of Halloween things. So I thought, how about we draw our favorite candy? Could be a candy bar. If you cannot get to the store, maybe this is an opportunity. You could ask your mom or dad, hey, I need a candy bar for art class. And maybe they'll get it for you. And then if they do get it for you, then your idea is that you have to draw it. Try not to eat it until you're finished. And try to do all the details. And then maybe as a reward, then you can eat it. Or you can share it with your mom and dad. Or you can share it with your brother or sister. So what I'm thinking is try to get some sort of candy. Now, if your parents say, nope, you've been rotten, you are not getting any candy, we are not giving you any money, then you can just go online and Google whatever your favorite candy bar is, pick the wrap you want, pull it up on your screen, and sit and draw it. So you can't weasel out of this one. I'm going to choose Reese's. This is my favorite. Delicious. So what I want to do is I want to draw your favorite candy bar or wrapper or candy, whichever you choose. You do not have to draw large. You do not have to draw on a giant piece of paper. You can work small. That's fine if you work small. So what I'm thinking, step one, look at it and make the shape. Draw the general shape of what you're making. Next, I'm looking at this, and my general shape is going to be a rectangle, and then there's these shapes that are off to the side. So I'm just going to block those off as shapes. I'm not going to draw all the details on it yet. And then I'm going to look at the words, and I'm going to sketch the letters just for a start. So that way I have everything planned out. And you're going to do this lightly. Just make it light so that way I have a plan. Now, I just kind of sketched those letters. And now I want to introduce a little bit of color. I'm just going to go ahead and with it, my next color here. I'm going to start outlining my letters. Yellow is a bright color, but it's also very vulnerable. It will smear. So you really want to, colors like yellow, you want to use those guys first, as if you don't, good chance of some smearing. When you start introducing the other colors, you'll get a bad smear and it'll just look muddy and dirty. So I'm going to throw that yellow down. Attempt to add in details, but we know that it's going to be very difficult when you're working small, and that's okay. So I've just gone over my lettering with yellow. The letters are outlined with a lightish brown here. So I'm going to go around, actually it's a dark brown. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce that, come around it. Now the neat thing that I'm finding is working small be quite nice. It's a lot quicker. I'm still getting all the same, I'm learning the same without having to spend so much time. And if you make something small and you really like it, then maybe work large and make a larger picture. I've really enjoyed seeing kids make the Vasily Kandinsky, especially the Music Man type things. If you have not checked it out, there is it says Artist of the Month on my, by the courses, by the videos. If you check that out, there's a video in that you can just click, and then it brings you to my little art room with, I'm in there, and then Vasily Kandinsky's in there. It's called Artist of the Month. But if you click on the painting, it will bring you to a video, and the video is very interesting. I really actually enjoyed it, how they were talking about Mr. Kandinsky and his concept of painting music. I thought that was really neat. So So what I'm doing now is I'm starting to introduce a little bit of the orange on my wrapper. I need to pay attention to all the details that I can possibly add. This is fun here. I like this. This is gonna look good. And it's another art card. The idea of these art cards is brilliant. Look at that. I just keep building and adding. Then when I'm finished, I have a nice art card. It's a card. And what we could do, we could bring them to school and we could trade them. We could autograph the back. We could trade them. They're nice and small, easy to hang on the fridge. It's just small little miniature works of art. I should make my little peanut butter cup at the bottom here. I need to. And also, I am attempting some realism. Now, Chuck Close was a photorealist, wasn't he? So he was trying to make stuff look crazy real. Right now, I'm working kind of small, so I'm just trying to create the illusion of my wrapper, and I'm making the illusion of all these details. So I'm probably not going to be able to fit in every small detail. Let's see here. I should attempt to do that. So on this wrapper, there's a peanut butter cup that someone took a bite out of. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and throw that on there. The peanut butter is kind of a yellow and an orange mix, so I should probably blend some colors to make that. The yellow, orange, and probably a little bit of brown on that. There we go. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this fall weather. It's really been nice out. Great for getting outside, play baseball or anything. Play football. Go out and play catch. It's been nice to watch some football on TV too, hasn't it? Hopefully you guys have been seeing that. I watched the Bears win. I did not get a chance to see. I wanted to see Tom Brady play. Did not get to see him play. But we taped it, so don't tell me. Don't tell me what happened. I want to watch it. Although I did see on the ESPN that he had some little turnovers. But I wanted to see him play. I think he's pretty dang good for being a little guy. So what I've done here is I've coloring that orange. Now I've talked about complementary colors. Complementary colors are opposite. So the opposite of orange is blue. So if I'm going to do some shading on here, because there are some wrinkles on the wrapper, and these are some details that I'd like to try to see you guys try and do, instead of just simply coloring, I'll try to see some of those details. So the opposite of orange is blue, and I can use some blue on this wrapper, so I can see, and I have to truly look at the wrapper and see where there's some wrinkling, darker areas. And if I do this, it's going to help make this look more realistic. It's just going to make my drawing jump out and to the next level. So I'm doing a little bit of shading in here, a little bit of wrinkle lines, such, and the wrinkles are mostly on the ends because it drops down. Let's see how that looks. Hear that? Now I can decide on my background. What would I want to do with the background? Perhaps I could do a grid, so it maybe would look like it's sitting on a tablecloth. How about that? So I'm just going to put some squares behind it. This is working out very well. Ooh, so I got some stripes, make some lines going this way, and so if I make it into like a tablecloth, I can color in every other square. However, when I'm coloring in every other square, I can do a gradation. That would really look cool. good idea. A little gradation on there. So I can decide what color do I want. If I have an orange, I'm going to use black. So I press hard, and then I get light in every other square. Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, that's cool. Press hard, get light, just kind of creating some sort of background, because I don't want my drawing to just be of the candy bar just floating. I'd rather have it sitting on something, or give it, if you want, have it sit laying in the grass, have it somewhere, but instead of just stopping. It's kind of like music. Music, you have to finish the song. The song doesn't just all of a sudden end, does it? Sometimes it does. Sometimes the songwriters have a hard time. They can't think of a way to end a song, so they just all of a sudden have the song get quieter and then ends. So in our artwork, our drawings, we need to have that finished product look. Start to finish. Just like music, we have to have an ending. So on the way to work today, I heard on the radio that the Cubs won, and they won with bases loaded or so. Had to be bases loaded, and they were down, and the pitcher beamed 2 batters in a row to make the Cubs win the game. So the pitcher lost the game by hitting 2 batters in a row. I just thought that was pretty odd. You don't really see that happen very often. I know that the Cubs' top batters, Baez and Rizzo and Bryant, those guys have been struggling. They haven't been hitting very well. They're batting about 200. That's not really very good. So what I've done here is I've colored in every other square to try to do a little gradation. After you finish it, man, this really needs a little autograph. Look at that. Bam. So our week 5 assignment is to draw some sort of wrapper, some sort of candy, something that you like. Now with this, thinking about what we're going to make or why we're going to do this. I'm choosing the candy because we have some really bright colors. And why do you think that candy has to have all these crazy bright colors? Because they want people to buy it. So apples, oranges, they have bright colors. They don't have to advertise. These guys need to advertise so that way people will buy them. Is candy healthy? No, not really. So they need to push and try to get people to buy it. But they have perfect bright colors for you to see and to draw. And you try to push those complementary colors. So the opposite of orange is blue. Opposite of red is green. Okay, video 5. Here is another example that I made. Or you could draw big. Add those details. Put the colors where they go. And then take a picture of your artwork and go to the art discussion. Click and send it to me. That way all your classmates can see it. All right, good luck. See you later.